Do you condemn white supremacy and white nationalism?
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which absolutely fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion.
I don't know why they playing with Vivek. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store, 50% off the entire store for a limited time. Link is in the description. Also, Tatum Plus is alive and well. We launched Tatum Plus. We want to do a soft launch to make sure everybody can log in so we don't get bombarded and it crash and all of this stuff. But it's been going very smoothly. Remember, I got to give instructions on this. Remember, registering doesn't necessarily mean that you subscribe. So registering is starting an account. Subscribing is when you decide whether you want to, to pay for the year or pay for the month. It's only $5.99. If I do the math, that's less than, 25 cents a day. It's way less than 25 cents a day. It's like 10 cents a day. It's something crazy. But anyway, go on to Tatum Plus. A whole bunch of cool content on there. We just started. I'm very proud of it. And I want to make sure that we get that handled so that if they ban me on any of these platforms, we're not just completely to zero. All right. So like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know why y'all playing with him. Why y'all playing with Vivek? Vivek is equipped to take care of business the way we've seen him take care of business. I don't know what he's accomplishing as far as getting closer to becoming the president, but I do know that he's accomplishing a lot by the things that he's saying and the challenges that he's posed to the media, to other Republicans, to the narratives that's put out into the country. Vivek Ramaswamy is on top of that. And I don't think nobody's smashing the media better at this point than Vivek Ramaswamy. Nobody. I don't think nobody's on him like that. I mean, he's on him like Donkey Kong. He on him like stank on. You know what I mean. For those of you in the South, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, I could talk forever about this, but I want to play this clip of Vivek giving an incredible response to this lady who's race baiting. I mean, they literally try to pose a ignorant question to you as if it's legitimate for you to answer. Are you a racist? Do you support black people? Like, what are y'all even talking about? That's like asking me, do I believe the earth is flat? Don't ask me nothing like that. You already know the answer. Or let's ask me, do I believe that God exists? Come on, bro. You watch any of my content? All right. Let's roll the clip. Roll it.
Do you condemn white supremacy and white nationalism?
I mean, who are you with? It's Washington Post. All right. So potato. Okay. Of course, I condemn any form of vicious racial discrimination in this country. But I think that the presumption of your question is fundamentally based on a falsehood that really is the main form of racial discrimination we see in this country today. Institutionalized racism is institutionalized racial discrimination that we see that doesn't come from somehow discriminating against people on the basis of some tenet of white supremacy. It's based on affirmative action. It's based on actually discriminating against people on the color of their skin in a way that's actually institutionalized today. Was there a point in our history, at points in our prior national history, where there have been vicious forms of anti-black or anti-brown discrimination throughout this country after the Civil War and otherwise? Yes. But you're looking in the rearview mirror and using that to pose a question today that is so far removed from what the reality is in America today. This myth of white supremacy, the closest you can find is Jussie Smollett, where you all were actually, speaking of trust in the media, jumping up and down over some false narrative. The best way you're able to find your best instance of white supremacy was a guy who was actually paying his other fellow people to be actually staging something that didn't happen.
He out here cooking. It's a lot more to that, but I just want to address this real quick. I think the question was probably a policy question about affirmative action, and it must have been associated with that when she asked this question. So it wasn't just randomly, are you support white supremacy? It probably was a policy question that has nothing to do with racism, and he explained it very well. Let him finish.
And so stop picking on this farce of some figment that exists at some infinitesimally small fringe of the American public today to open our eyes to the actual real threats that we face. And I think that it's frankly questions and framings like that that has caused the American public to lose all trust in the mainstream media, I'm sorry to say, for good reason.
You didn't say that you condemn white supremacy.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which absolutely fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question. The reality is, I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that, and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking point, creating a projection of national division. I meet people from the south side of Chicago to meetings like this one of every shade of melanin, multiple, from man to woman, doesn't make a difference, who are hungry for reviving unity in this country. And you, with your catechism that you try to get to politicians to whatever fake headline you're going to print on the basis of this conversation tomorrow, that's what's dividing this country to a breaking point. Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last 5 years. Own the accountability for your own failures as the media. That's how we rebuild trust in this country. And until then, I don't have a lot of patience to play the games.
He should have got a whole stadium in uproar. Uproar is probably not the right word, but the whole stadium to cheer what he said. Because I believe the same thing he's saying. And he's not white. And you know, like, people think, it's crazy to me. People think if you don't believe that the country is racist, then somehow you either are supporting of racism or whatever. It's completely stupid to me. I think anybody who's racist against another person is an ignorant fool. Because race it means nothing. I know black folks that speak proper English. I know black folks that don't speak English at all. They speak Cuban or whatever. I don't know, the different languages. They are speaking a whole nother language. They're not even American. Just because you black don't mean you have to be this monolithic, have a monolithic viewpoint, and also that you're the same. I know black people in the hood that were educated, that had African American vernacular, which means they speak Ebonics. But they're part of the smartest people in the school. I've had people who weren't very smart, but they speak proper English. I mean, you go down the list, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Anybody that's watching this knows that none of this really matters. I have friends that are white, that are black, that are, Christian, that are not Christian, I have people that I know, and I don't really say I have close friends. I only got like a few of them, and all of my close friends are Christians. But I still have people that I consider to be acquaintances that may not be Christians. And we all come from different backgrounds, different walks of life. Who cares, man? It don't even matter. But they want to be racist and pigeonhole every black person into a certain group, every Hispanic person into a certain group, every white person into a certain group. That's stupid to me. It's absolutely stupid to me. But anyway, Vivek Ramaswamy still whooping them like they just stole a bag of candy from the store. I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure you join Tatum Plus, tatumplus.com, tatumplus.com. Link is in the description section. I'm out.